Hello, Pile 1. So, we are looking at the messages your shadow self has for you. So, the first cards out are cards of death and the devil. So, let's just say your shadow self is fierce. So, this means your shadow self is somebody who you don't want to acknowledge as a part of your personality. But the cards are saying that your shadow self is actually very fierce. You know, you have the card of death and the devil. So this means your shadow self is actually very combative. It means that perhaps, yeah, like we said, it's fierce. You may have you may not admit it, but you like to argue. Let's say you like the confrontation with others, especially when you can when you feel you can prove you're right in some sort of a situation. So your shadow self yeah, likes to debate. Let's say likes to debate with others and gets their point across. And yeah, it likes to argue, it likes to make argumentative statements. Yeah, so like we said, this is something that you may not accept in your conscious life, but the cards are saying, your shadow self is saying, this is a part of you. You are very fierce, definitely when it comes to interpersonal relationships. Like we said, you don't mind the confrontation with others. Yeah, so even maybe if you don't like to admit this is actually what the cards are saying is true for you. And it's like your shadow self also, the cards are overall are mentioning your interpersonal relationships. So basically this is what your shadow self wants to give to you, this message. It's all regarding your interpersonal relationships. So yeah, maybe you fear, or your shadow self fears being talked about, like being gossiped about. So perhaps, like, you know, on the outside you would in your social settings you would agree to things that necessarily, you know, you don't want to agree with, or you actually loathe, or you just don't want doing or talking about or whatever, but you agree with them. But like your inner self is saying that you actually, you know, there's something about your interpersonal relationships that you're agreeing to, but you're actually loathing it. You hate it. And your shadow self is saying that, you know, you would most likely, you know, just metaphorically speaking, explode when it comes to certain situations and dealing with interpersonal relationships. Sometimes, you know, your buttons may be pushed in such a way, it's like you just would like to, you know, go off on somebody, you know, release your fierce shadow self, but you don't do it, you know. Obviously, for certain reasons, you don't. One of them being that you wouldn't like to people have like a bad opinion of you or gossip about you. There's something here about your shadow self fearing gossip, and on the other hand, you may like gossiping, or you may like when some sort of juicy gossip information reaches your ear. So even if you don't like to admit it, you yourself, you like gossiping, but you absolutely fear if somebody were to gossip about you. So your shadow self, like we said, is very fierce. But then we also have here the card of the Hermit, and this talks about like the fact that you should, what your shadow self is saying, that this, if you don't like accept your shadow self as a part of you, maybe not to the extreme, but just to accept it, that yes, you do like to perhaps gossip about other people, or that, like some people push your buttons in a way that, you would just like to explode in their faces. So what your shadow self is saying, that you should accept this as being a part of you, and perhaps, yeah, just take it how it resonates, but yeah, just accept it as this being a part of you as well, because your shadow self is saying that you could reach this hermit mode if you don't, you know mm, like, as a result, perhaps you don't acknowledge this as being your shadow self. You tend to withdraw from interpersonal relationships, and yeah, so the message from your shadow self is, if you keep not accepting yourself fully, you're just gonna tend to go more and more into your hermit mode, because you're just gonna completely withdraw from all social interactions, because obviously if people push your buttons, you just may feel that it's not worth it, or like, it's just best to have your peace, and not deal with certain people. But yeah, your shadow self is saying that you may become like more and more into this hermit mode, into your hermit energy, which would not actually be beneficial to you or to others. So it's like, what the message from your shadow self is, that you know just accept it as being a part of yourself, and yeah, as a result, your interpersonal relationships may actually benefit, or improve even, because you're gonna accept yourself fully. Yeah, so it just has something to do with accepting who you are, and not delving into the hermit mode, like, completely, like, yeah, completely. Because it's like, people love you. We all have that somebody who you love or who loves you, and it's like, you would be shortcoming the people around you and yourself of like, full experiencing full just fully experiencing your relationships with others. Yeah, but this is what your shadow self is basically telling you. This is your message. Okay, thank you, pile 1. So hello, pile 2. We are talking about your shadow self or your messages from your shadow self. And your shadow self with the cards is saying that you may be there's something here about falseness. So you may be we shouldn't say a fake person, but there's something here about you presenting yourself to others as something that you're not. So you presenting yourself to others, or your shadow self is presenting, well actually your shadow self is telling you that you are presenting to others that you're a very happy-go-lucky person. But in fact, you're not. It's like you're hiding something. Your shadow self is saying there's something false about what you're showing to others, or what you're allowing others to see. So you may be, and there's something here about money. So we have here the 2 of Pentacles. Your shadow self is also saying that your love of money is like maybe sometimes overtaking you. Like your shadow self, this is something you don't like to admit, but the cards are saying there's something here about money and being false, being fake regarding your financial situation. So it's like you like to present to others maybe that you have more money than you do. And with the card of the 2 of Pentacles, maybe sometimes you're juggling, you're struggling, but it's like, there's nothing wrong with this. We all have hardships, but it's like you were presenting yourself to others like you have no problems. Obviously this is none of other people's business, but it's like sometimes you're deluding yourself as well. So but your shadow self is saying that yes, that sometimes perhaps you're also in denial because you don't admit to yourself that you're putting out this for others, this persona who is well off, who has their finances in check, and who is just happy all the time, like happy-go-lucky. It's like your shadow self is saying that like if you don't like acknowledge this, it's there is like a message here. We have the card of the mountain. Like this could potentially transform from, like, the saying, making a mountain out of a molehill, you know. So the message from your shadow self is, if you keep this up, something like this, that if you keep this up, like this facade, this fake facade, not only for others but for yourself as well, like if you're living in this denial, the problems with time may grow larger in size, you know. So if you have had like maybe situations when dealing with money or your finances, but you were just like deluding yourself and thinking everything is all right, it's like there's this potential in the future that if you don't acknowledge this as a part of your shadow self, that this is what you're doing, yeah, the the issue may be even bigger in time. Yeah. So the cards are also saying that like ultimately this could lead to you just being a very nervous person, because it's like, the financial issues or situations are sometimes nerve-wracking, and it's like your shadow self is saying, this is what you're doing, you're just like deluding yourself, but it could also with time like really take an effect on your nerves, like also health wise, you know. Yeah, so maybe you're already finding that like you're already like a nervous person, but it's like maybe you don't understand why, but this is your shadow self coming forth and coming through to give this message that this is why, just being in some sort of a denial is affecting you, affecting your health also physically, like just affecting your nerves, yeah, just making you very nervous, like in general. Or also you may also be impatient because of this in your day-to-day dealing with your day-to-day relationships. You may be very impatient, like this is coming up, yeah, because you have all this on your plate, but you're not like acknowledging it to yourself, and it's like making you very impatient and nervous when dealing with other people in your relationships, or or even when it comes to your finances. Yeah, so this is basically the message from your shadow self, pile number 2. Thank you. Hello, pile number 3. We are talking about your shadow self, your messages from your shadow self. So we have here the cards, which are saying that, or what your shadow self wants to say to you is, that you may be on the manipulative side. So you can be very manipulative. We have here the King of Swords. The King of Swords is usually a card which represents somebody who is just, who deals fairly in situations and is clear. He likes to keep things clear, and with his sword he cuts through any deception. But in this case, in your case, we are talking about your shadow self. So the King of Swords represents the dark negative aspects of what this card usually means. So in this sense, it means that you can be very manipulative, like we said, and you are also very charming. Like, your shadow self wants you to give you this message that you can be very charming and very people can like you very quickly, but it's because you are so manipulative. You tend to, or your shadow self tends to seek the insecurities in others and then attack them with it, with their insecurities. So you can like keep these aces, so to speak, in your sleeve. So whenever you need to exercise your manipulative energy, you tend to pull out this card and dwell on the insecurities of others and make them feel beneath you, so to speak. So yeah, so like we said, your shadow self can be very manipulative because, like we said, the King of Swords is usually a very just, fair person, but not in this sense. Now also we have here the cards of the Four of Wands and also the King of Pentacles. So again, we also have the card of marriage, which represents union, promise. So these are all the cards which are saying that, yeah, you can be very good in social settings, in your social surroundings. Yeah, you can be very charming. That's why people tend to like you very quickly and associate with you, but they don't know that you hold this dark side that if they cross you, for example, you're gonna be quick to put them in their place, so to speak. So this is your shadow self, pile number 3, a very manipulative person. Yeah, so you can switch conversations and situations and people around you to the outcome that you want. But this is a very very tasking, it drains you of your energy. So your shadow self is basically letting you know. We have here the card of the crossroads. So if you tend to So for example, let's just say that your shadow self is, these are the aspects that you necessarily don't want to accept in yourself or acknowledge. So it's like, this is your shadow self, like we said, this manipulative person who can pressure other people to do something that you know corresponds to your desires. But because we have here the card of the crossroads, it's like, yeah, we also have here, so the cards, the Four of Wands, you know, and like we said, the card of marriage. So these cards represent, like, you know, some sort of a celebration. And it's like, on the outside, you like to present yourself that you're very sociable, very an empath, you know, a person who likes to empathize with others on the outside. So this is how you present yourself to be. But your shadow self is somebody completely opposite to that, you know? So it's like the message from your shadow self is, well, the message is basically to, because we have here the card of the crossroads. So it's like, if you keep this up, for example, or let's just say not keep this up, if you continue not to acknowledge that this is a part of yourself, that you can be a very manipulative person. It's like, we have here the card of the crossroads. If you only think yourself to be a very empathetic person, a good, kind-hearted person, but you have a yin and a yang as well. So it's like, you can't just accept the good parts of yourself, of your personality, but also the negative, the dark sides, you know? So the card of the crossroads is saying that if you don't acknowledge this dark side about yourself, you know, it's like, the road can lead you to something or to some place where you will be exposed, let's say it like that. Because we also have here the card of the Ten of Wands, you know. So the Ten of Wands represents oppression, burdens, you know. So it's like, if you don't acknowledge this negative side to yourself, to your personality, you can be exposed, because sooner or later, people that will get to know you will pick up on this side of you, you know? And it's like, the message from your shadow self is, people, when you exercise this, when you try to hide your shadow self and only present yourself to be this good, kind-hearted person, it's like people can sense your shadow self as well. Like, let's say, because sooner or later, once people get to know you, they can see the other side of you as well. And it's like, those people then may feel betrayed because you were hiding this side from them, and you know, it's like the card of the Ten of Wands. They may feel very burdened, like they may feel very oppressed by you, you know? And for that reason, they will develop this distrust. They will not trust you any longer, you know, because they will feel betrayed by you, because you are hiding, or you were hiding this negative side of you, which it is a part of you, but it's like they will feel betrayed that you didn't that you presented yourself to be as someone, as only this person, but this is only a part of your personality. So it's like the message from your shadow self is that you are at a crossroad, you know, and it's like if you don't acknowledge this side to yourself, that you can be bossy, you can be manipulative, you know, you can dwell on other people's insecurities, you know, like, and attack other people with them. So if you don't acknowledge this side of you, the message from your shadow self is like the truth, let's say, the truth of who you are will come out eventually, but it will not be pleasant, neither for you or the people around you, because the people around you will feel very betrayed by this news of who you actually are, or like that you've been keeping this part hidden from them, and they will develop a sense of distrust, you know, and this could, for an example, lead to where your relationships will be empty because neither one of you will trust each other. There will be no trust because the people around you would feel very oppressed and burdened by you. So this is the message from your shadow self, basically, that you should like acknowledge this part of yourself, you know, and just like learn to live with it and not hide it from other people, because they will eventually find out and feel very betrayed by you. And as a result, your relationships will suffer, like the relationships between you and other people will suffer. If you present yourself to be only this, you know, this Four of Wands, this kind-hearted, good-hearted, you know, happy person, like who is empathetic, who enjoys the celebration of others, when in fact, you know, you don't. Like, there's another part of you which can be very cruel and pick on insecurities of other people. So yeah, the message from your shadow self is that you are at a crossroad, and yeah, that you should just acknowledge the shadow self, your shadow self, as being a part of you, because as a result, then your relationships with others will be better. So this is your message, pile 3. Thank you.